Yeah, hello everyone. Good morning and good evening. Let us start the session. So what we are discussing currently? So currently we are discussing about the functions in the JavaScript and how to create a component. Okay, so these are the things we are seeing. Quickly revise what we have discussed in the last session. So what is the principle or pattern used in the ReactJS? Everyone please unmute yourself. So we are using the separation of concerns, SOC principle. Okay, so how to set up a React.js? If you want to set up a React.js, first install the Node.js. Next, create a React application using the command npx create React app and the app name. Next, how to create a component? If you want to create a component, first create a folder. The name of the folder should be a components. In there, so as per your feature, you should be create a component. Next, so how many types of JavaScript functions are there? So what is the purpose of a function? Let us see in detail today about the functions. Okay. So let me open the Visual Studio Code and we need to run the solution. So what is the command to run? So in the examples, I'm having the React application open here. Go to the address bar, type cmd. What is the command? npm space start. npm space start. So this is the node package manager command. So npm providing the commands where you can able to create, build and run the JavaScript applications. Okay, now it is starting the server. So it will automatically launch the URL. So if it is not launching, simply see here, here you can able to notice, right, copy this URL and open. Okay, next now we need to open the Visual Studio Code. Either you can able to open from here, or else you can able to use a command. Okay, simply open Visual Studio Code, go to the file, select a folder. That is one approach. So another approach is open a VS Code. Okay, either you can able to open a VS Code. You need to go to the file, select a folder. Select a folder, one approach. Second approach is open the application folder. Wherever you are having the application folder, go to address bar. If you don't know, then only take this one. If you know, no need to worry. Okay, go to the address bar. You need to be type command. Command prompt will open. You need to write a command called code space dot. Okay, let me explain. Open the application folder. This is my application folder, right? Yes, React EX1 is my application folder. Go to the address bar. Go to the address bar. Type cmd. It will open command prompt. So here you need to give the code space dot. Press enter. That's it. Opening is not important. Just I'm showing you either command based or normal. Okay. So once Visual Studio Code is open, close this one. Okay. So don't close this one. It is running. It should be running. Okay. If you close this one, your application will not run. So how to create a component? First, create a component folder. In the component folder, we created a folder called details. In the details, we created simply JavaScript file. In the JavaScript file, we are creating a function. Okay. So what is the syntax to create a function? function name. So it should have the some return and it should return some data. Okay, this function should be return some data. So next, let us see how many types of functions are there. So in yesterday's session, we have seen 8 different types. Okay, and we have seen about the parameterless or non-returnable function. Next, we have seen about the returnable function. So please take a heading, a returnable function. Returnable function. Returnable function. A function having a return statement is called returnable function. A function will return some data is called returnable function. So take it as a syntax function function name here function will return something. Return you need to write some logic or return some logic. Let us see the example. See here. So this is the example of a returnable function. Take it. Even HTML also is there. Also, it is the returnable function. Yesterday session I given already notes of export. What is the purpose of export? If you say export, then only you can able to utilize this function in another component. So everyone please start interacting. If you're silent, can I go next?
Yes.
So next is the parameterized function. So what is mean by parameter? So you can able to call a simple argument based function. A function with params or argument is called a parameterized function. A function with params or arguments is called parameterized or argument based function. Okay, syntax. See, all these function types we are using in the functional components. Function component we can able to create in a multiple ways. Okay, so parameterized function, next variable defined function will show you one by one. Okay, syntax. Function name, function name. So here you can able to have the return keyword or without return code keyword. So here you will have some logic. Params are simply you can able to say arguments, anything can find. See here. So this is my function, right? This function I can able to take params. This function I can able to take the params. Just you can able to note the first line, that also can be enough. Params. So from now it will tricky. Next one is the variable defined function or anonymous function. The boy is done. What we call anonymous user? So somebody log into the system without login credentials is called anonymous user. So anonymous is in the sense unknown. So they are not joined without a proper data or without a proper credentials. Okay, a person without a name is called anonymous person. If you don't know somebody's name, then we'll say anonymous function. Okay, so anonymous means a function without a name. Anonymous function means a function without a name. But a function created without a name, how you can able to call? It's not able to call, right? Then anonymous functions will assigned to variable will assign to a variable. Anonymous function means a function without a name. So anonymous function will be assigned to a variable. Why so we are assigning a variable? To invoke that function. Okay, to invoke that function. Okay, so let me give the syntax. So constant, here you can able to use the let var constant. Monday I will explain you about what is a let constant. Let var and constant. Constant variable name function braces. Here you need to write logic. Example will show you, please take it. Okay, so what is the variable defined function or anonymous function? Creating a function without a name called anonymous function. But this function is anonymous without a name. How we can able to invoke that function? We are creating a function to call or not? Yes, we need to call a function. Calling purpose only we are creating a function. Okay, so let me showcase. So now this is my function details, right? So now what I'm saying here, so let me comment these things. How to create a function? Anonymous function. First, let me create a function. Function name is the details. Okay, it can able to take a parameters. It cannot be take a parameter. It can be returnable or not. Anything can be fine. Okay, function without a name that can be parameterized or non-returnable. Anything can be fine. Okay, here let me return some header. VKC trainings. Okay, so this is what type of function? Anonymous function. Any name? Sorry, this is a normal function. Okay, this is a normal function. Let us make it to anonymous function. So function without a name. So is there any name of the function? No. So if a name is not there, how I can able to invoke this function? Yes or no? Invoking in the sense you are creating a function perform a certain operation. For example, we are celebrating. We are conducting a function without calling anybody. How we can able to call a function? We should call some our neighbors or friends, right? So here also.
Yeah, we can assign it to a variable.
So we should assign to the variable. So variable we can able to create in a three ways, either constant, let, and var. So what is that? We'll explain. So in this situation, we need to be assigned to a. We should be assigned to a variable. Okay. So now this is what type of function? Anonymous function. Okay. This anonymous function also we should be calling another file or not? Yes, we need to be called. If you want to call a function in another file, it should be export. It should be export. Okay, now take this is the example. Clear? Mostly if you observe, right, so these type of functions you can able to see.
So generally, when we will use this anonymous function?
So regularly to creating a components also we can use. Okay, but there is a no difference between the anonymous function and normal function. No? There is a no difference.
Okay.
Okay. So left side if you are creating a variable, or right side you are creating a function name, anything both can be set. So JavaScript, if you take any concept, there is a no concept of performance. JavaScript itself a more performance because that is a dynamically typed. Okay. But what we are writing a logic, we need to be improve that logic. Somebody can able to say anonymous performance. No, it's not correct. Is that done?
Yeah.
Okay. So next one is yarrow functions. Yarrow or a lambda function. Okay. So when this was introduced to yarrow functions are
From ECMAScript 6.
introduced in ES 6. Okay. So these are nothing but a anonymous functions are anonymous functions are upgraded as yarrow functions. Clear? So your anonymous function is upgraded as yarrow function in the ECMAScript 6th version. So syntax. So here what I'm trying to say, yarrow functions are introduced in ECMAScript 6th version. Anonymous functions are upgraded as a yarrow function. Sir, earlier in the session, in the function anonymous means without a name. Why it is calling a yarrow? Because so why it is calling a yarrow function represented your function represented as represented with yarrow symbol. You are using the arrow. Okay, so these arrow are used in the lambda expression. That's why simply we can able to say arrow are lambda functions. Arrow mathematically we are using in the lambda symbol, lambda functions, lambda to create. Okay, so here what you need to do, same like a constant, same syntax, constant less than greater than symbol, in the sense syntax you should write like this. Okay, so variable name is equal to function wait function so function braces, don't take this one, braces like this. This is anonymous function. Okay, now The arrow function in the sense they removed the function keyword. After the braces, they added a arrow. Clear? They removed the function keyword and added a braces. That's it. This is called the arrow function. So here the arrow function can be returnable. It can be a parameterized. Parameter means where I need to be send. Parameters means here only I can able to send if parameters are there. Okay, see here, this is nothing but it looks like arrow, right? So on the lambda expressions we are using like this. Okay, that's why it is calling arrow or a lambda function. Take the syntax. So whenever you are discussing, right, going for the interviews, they will ask the syntax. So syntax means constant, don't give the details is equal function. That is example. Okay, if you are using the less than greater than symbol, it is called mandatory. Okay, variable name must be there, right? That's it. Options are represented by the square braces. Okay, options. If it is optional, then we can able to add in the square braces. For example, here it can be returnable or it can be cannot be returnable, right? So you can able to say return logic. So square braces are in the sense optional. So if you want, you can able to take it. Okay, so these are nothing. Sorry. So here less than greater than is nothing but a mandatory. Okay, square braces is nothing but a optional. Okay, simply add like this. Next, see here. Okay, so now how to convert this one? Simply remove the function keyword. After the braces, you can able to add a arrow. That's it. Okay, see, function to parameterize and returnable, and then to anonymous. Now you are writing a arrow functions. Okay, take that example. So it is very easy. If you go step by, if you are driving the subject step by step, the subject will become easy. Otherwise, if I go directly arrow functions, we may confuse. Anybody have any questions? Any confusions up to now?
What is ES6?
So ES6 means, so we're having the Java versions, .NET versions are saying about .NET version 1.0, correct? But JavaScript was given by the ECMA script, ECMA. Okay, yesterday I told you, right? European Computer Manufacturing Association. Okay, but what is the version? JS1, JS2 we need to be called, correct? But instead of the JS1, they're simply calling as ES1, ECMA script 1, ECMA script 2. Okay, so JavaScript was approved by the ECMA. So they are come up with the ECMAScript version. So they should call as the JavaScript JS1, JS2, but instead they are calling as ES1. Clear, Didipya?
Yeah, clear.
Okay, there also reason is there. So somebody going for the copyright, another person also will trying, right? So this Brendan Each, the scientist called Brendan Each, so he went for the copyright. At the same time, Microsoft to come up with approach called LiveScript, LIV LiveScript. LiveScript was developed by seeing the same JavaScript. JavaScript is not at got copyright. So whoever is getting the copyright, that will be go inside of the world, right? So that will be we can able to take as a first. Correct or not?
Correct.
So that's why there is no time them to be take it as a version. That's why they stopped the LiveScript. So LiveScript also is there. That is from the Microsoft, but JavaScript was started first. JavaScript was started first by reverse engineering the JavaScript. Okay, they are observing the keep JavaScript how they are implementing. They are simply reverse engineering that one, and they are trying to implement the LiveScript and go for the approval. So immediately, our Brendan Each and the team so went for the approval. Okay, so they went the approval. They saying about ECMAScript. So ECMA means European Computer Manufacturing Association. It's a script of all the programming languages. It's a script of all the programming language, and they given the rule like the rule is no browser should not understand other than the JavaScript. Why so reason, right? So if you take any browser, what are the web technologies? HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. These should be understood by the browser. For example, instead of the HTML, if I say VML or KML, so then the way of representation will change or not? So everybody will see, speaking their native language to communicating some information. Okay, if language is changed, we need to be understand. That's what there cannot be a same type of information. At that time, Chinese will become and develop C language, Chinese language. So then look and feel of website will change. To avoid that one across the globe, they are saying about you should not create alternative for HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. But if you want, you can able to create for. If you want, you can able to create your library or the framework. Everybody is clear. If you take a Java, you are having the alternative of .NET. You are taking a .NET. Python is there. Okay, so there is an alternative, but they are following the same principles. If you take a C language, for the C, ABC language also is there. It's an alternative. But if you take a JavaScript, no other are there. If you take a TypeScript, TypeScript is a superscript of JavaScript only. Everybody is clear? So there is a no alternative for these HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So our WW World Wide Web, WW websites is there, right? So World Wide Web, the World Wide Web is saying about so there should not be any alternative HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to make it as a consistent the visualization of the website across the global. Okay, so otherwise different websites will become. Okay, same Amazon will be open or differently in the India if I use the different coding languages. If Google using the different HTML means we can able to visualize the different, i.e. it can be able to visualize the different. So that's what to make it as a consistent across the global. These are the three things, and that is the rule. Okay, everybody is clear the arrow functions. So now there is a one variation in the arrow functions. Whenever you are having only one return statement, how many statements are here? Only one return statement. Okay, so in the ECMAScript 6th version, if you are using the arrow functions and in the arrow function you are having only one statement to return, then they are saying about no need to use this braces on the arrow. Now this is the shorthand syntax. Clear? So now compare how the syntax is earlier, how the syntax is now. Now got it, Nagaraju? So we are come up with a shorthand syntax now. So this shorthand syntax is a arrow function. Arrow function is coming from the anonymous. Anonymous is coming from the normal function. Okay. So this type of the shorthand functions we are using in the real time. For example, I want to filter the data. We are using the arrow function to filter the data. That I will show you how to filter using the arrow functions. Okay. So let me explain. Yes, I know. Maybe somebody not able to catch. So everybody is clear with this arrow, right? In the ECMAScript 6th version, so they are saying about whenever you are having the only one statement to return. Whenever you are having only one statement, how many statements here I'm returning? Only one. For example, I'm having the multiple statements. So here I'm having some alert. Okay, so this is the function having how many statements? 1, 2 statements. In this situation, you must use the return keyword. For example, in my logic, I'm having only single statement. This is single statement. Okay, so whenever you are having the single statement in the ECMAScript 6th version, so they are saying about no need to utilize, you no need to use the return keyword, remove that one, and no need to add the braces. You can able to remove the return keyword and the braces. So same variation. Okay, I will give the notes, you will get a clarity. So still it will work. Okay, variation in a arrow function. What is that variation? When arrow function having only one statement to be written. Whenever you have arrow function having only one statement to be written, then no need to use return keyword and braces. Okay, so whenever your arrow function having only one statement to be written, then no need to use return keyword and braces. So what is the syntax? Syntax constant variable name is equal to, now tell me, braces arrow, and here you can able to return some logic straightforward. Example. Okay, same, whenever you are using the arrow function, in the arrow function you are having only one statement to be written, then no need to use return keyword and braces. Straightforward you can able to use it. Okay, so these type of the things we are using as a callback functions. So what is the situation we are using, right? These variation will use as a callback function. If you want to understand the callback function, first we need to know about the data types. Okay, so after the data types I will show you the callback functions with the filter and the for each. Okay, so this part we can able to directly using as a callback. Clear everybody? Any questions? Rajani, clear? Ramesh, Chandan, Ganesh, Datta, Ashwant.
Yeah, Krishna.
Any questions? Any from anybody? Rajani, are you clear?
What is callback function?
That I will give. The next one is the callback function.
Okay.
So how many functions we are saying? Function, variable defined function, parameterized function, returnable function, variable defined function, or anonymous functions. Next, arrow functions. 5 different functions we have seen as of now. Okay, so this variation will use in the callback functions. So what is the callback functions? How to utilize the callback functions? We will explain you. So everybody is clear with this one? Okay, so when to use this variation? When we'll use this variation? Everyone please tell me. So whenever your function
There's only a single statement to execute.
so whenever
Only
your
one
function
logic.
having only
Shorthand.
one statement to be executed, simply one statement is returning, then we will use this variation. Okay, so these type of the logics we are using the callback functions. Okay, so if you want to get the callback functions, we'll show you the callback function. First day if I show that one, everybody will get a confusion. For example, anybody remember the C programming language .NET? So we are having the concept of delegate. Okay, delegate. So here no need to use the delegate. So delegate in the sense a function can be used as a callback. Yes. What is a callback? What is a callback function? Please take a definition. But the usage we will see. Okay. Callback function. Okay. So generally .NET Java having the concept of delegates. Okay. And C programming language having the concept of delegate. So delegate is nothing but a function. It's a function. A callback function is called as a delegate. So delegate means so sometimes okay, a conferences are going there. So across the G20 something. So India has to be go there, and but India can able to go. Behalf of the India, somebody will go. That is called delegation. For example, some conference is going between the company. Okay, so the TCS founder will be go. No, he has some many works. Okay, so Ratan Tata have many works, right? So behalf of him, somebody will go and attend. Okay, so they will come up with the notes. These are the information. That person is called a delegate. Delegate in the sense he will represent a country. So these delegates are used as a callbacks. So call means they are going to be call them. Yes, they will call, and these people will be go and attend and come back with some situation. Person will be go attend and come back with some information. Call back. That is called call back. Okay, a function passing as a parameter to another function is another function and invoking a passed function inside of that function. So here what I'm trying to say, you are going to pass a function as a parameter to another function and invoking this passed function inside of that function is called callback function. Is called callback function. Okay, so note in syntax, take it as directly. For example, I'm having a function 1 and function 2. Constant data is equal to, so here you are going to write some logic. Okay, so this data can I pass a input parameter to another function? Yes. See, this is my function. Just I'm giving this example, but practically not now. I will show you. Okay, these callback functions are very important to perform a search filter operations. Okay, so for example, you are opening the red bus. Okay, on the top of the red bus, you are having the options, right? What type of options? So you want to be that source to destination. You want to filter by the sleeper or AC or non-AC. So these type of the filter conditions are there. If I want to filter that conditions, we are using the callback functions. So in the real time, these callback functions are used in the filter search sort operations. In Amazon also, I want to see the list of the items which are in ascending or descending order of the price or manufacture date. Okay, or else I want to be check the categories of 1,000 to 15,000 like this. These are such sort of filter operations. We are using the callback functions. Function details. So in this function, I will pass my function name, data function, and I will execute the function. How to call a function? Data braces. Okay, so by this, just take like this. If you want to understand this callback, we should go for the data types. In the array data type, you will get a clarity. But just to take it as a theoretical by today, only for this callback function. You can able to see the practical. I will show the practical example. Okay, if I want to filter the data first, I need to have the data type. In the data type, we need to create a data, then we'll go for the filter. Okay, so by this, simply understand a callback function is passing a parameter to another function and executing that passed parameters in that function. That is called a callback function. Next, what type of function after the callback function? Self invoking or immediately invoking a function. So simply self-invoking means somebody in the interview, they can able to say like a self-invoking function, SIF, or immediately invoked function, IIF, both are same. SIF or IIF, both are same. Self-invoking function or immediately invoking function. So sometimes we are conducting some functions, right? See somebody, if you calling that person or without calling that person, he will definitely will. Yes or no? So in the functions, we are inviting the people. Some people will become without invitation. Okay. So for them, invitation is not required. That is called invoking functions. Nobody no need to call. Self-invoking itself called by itself. Okay. So itself called by itself. A function execute by itself a function execute by itself is called self-invoking function or immediately invoking function. No need to call. Nobody will not call this a function. Okay. Syntax. So these self-invoking functions are created by using the anonymous function. How to create anonymous function? Function name, like this or not? Okay, but who can able to call? How to call the function? So this will be enclosed inside of a braces. One set of outside, one set of inside braces. Sorry, one set of around, one set of outside. So here you are writing some logic. Okay, I will show you the example, then you will clear. So take this syntax first. So first you need to write a function. This is my function. So around the function you need to add one set of braces, and outside you need to add one set of braces. Sir, why so we need to add the one set of braces? See, so here how we are calling a function? A function must be called with the braces. This is my function name, right? Yes. How to call a function with the braces? So if I want to call this a function or invoking this function, I must use the braces. Okay. See the example now itself. So see here, let me create a function called alert. So this function control ku. Okay. So before doing that one, let me. So here I need to be call the function. If I want to call this function, so how many statements will be there? Show alert. So two statements, right? One is calling the function. One is I'm calling the show alert function. This is show alert I'm calling here. Next time returning. So show alert is calling next time returning. How many statements? Two statements. If I have the more than one statement, you must use the braces in the arrow functions. Can I check it? Are you able to see the alert? Alert one. Okay. So let me comment this alert. Now see it. Any alert is firing? Any alert is firing, team?
No.
No. So no alert was not firing. So now let me create a self-invoking function. So I will create a function. How to create an anonymous function? Function, no name, without a name, braces. I will show alert. So alert is nothing but something prompt you want to see. Okay. So here we'll show you self-invoking a function. SIF. Okay. So how to call a function? If I want to call this a function, we must use the braces. So here I need to be say braces. If I say braces, it is showing error, right? So simply enclose this one inside of braces. So what is the syntax of anonymous? What is the syntax of self-invoking function? Enclosing your function inside of the braces. That's it. Can I call this one? No need to call. Executing or not? Who call this one? So self-invoking means nobody no need to call. It will include. It will invoke by itself.
Hello, Krishna.
Yes.
What is the use of self-invoking function?
That's what I'm saying, right? It will invoke by itself. For example, you
Can
want to
you
show some
explain
logic.
scenario? Where does we use this kind of self-invoking function?
Okay. So let me open the IRCTC. Now IRCTC is loaded, right? So it will show some prompt, some notification. Once it is still loading. So nowadays it is showing something, right? Some alert, the corona alert. Okay. So when I have to show this one on the loading of this page. Okay. On the loading of your application, you want to show some alerts. Okay. In that situation, we can able to use some notes, something notification or notes. Okay. Whenever your application is loading, if you want to show some notification or a note, so we can able to use this self-invoking function. Anybody visited RCTC recently? So it is showing some corona alert, right? Prompt. Still it is loading. Okay. Is they removed? I'm just giving the use case. Maybe bus is open, na? Are able to see some notification here? So these type of the prompts or alerts we can able to show on the page loads, on the component load. Okay. But is this regular use case? Means either two ways. So if you want to show on the application is loading or else, so there is onload function also here. There also you can able to show it. But in the real time, self-invoking functions use case is very 5%. So very rare. Okay, sir, why it is rare? So without developer control, a function is going to be executed. So is it in my control once I created a function? No, it's not in my control. So if you don't have the control, we should not use it. That's why it is a very less. Okay, the usage is very less. But for example, on the page loading, I want to show some alerts, some notifications, some prompts. Okay, simply you can able to use this one self-invoking function. But in the real time, the use case of this functionality is a 5%. So as of now, the things which I take and write, I have not used. This is self-invoking function. So, but you know the jQuery framework. Everybody know about the jQuery framework. Okay, jQuery will load on the page load or after some time. So jQuery will automatically load. Am I correct? So jQuery library is the self-invoking library. So in the jQuery, we need to create, already functions are there. Those are the self-invoking functions. Okay. If you want to create a library, the library should be loaded independently. So nobody will not call that library. They will just give the reference. Clear now? So if you are using any library, you are going to give the reference of that library in the JS space simply. So here I'm giving the reference like this. So we are going to give the reference in the jQuery library. It is loading automatically. Are you clear or not?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So jQuery library once you add a right reference, it loads automatically. Okay. No need to call the reference again. Okay. So example. So what is the use case? Self-invoking function or immediately invoking function will use to show some notes or messages when the application loads. What is the use case means? For example, in the morning star travels, I shown something, right? But always we need to be control the code. Code should not execute independently. Code is trying to execute independently. We can't able to control over the issues. So that's what we are avoiding this self-invoking function. For example, ReactJS is the library, jQuery is the library. Okay, library remains once you give the reference is automatically working or not. So how it was working automatically? Because those are the Those are the self-invoking. Okay. Functions in the libraries like jQuery, or another React. So jQuery library will use self-invoking function. Sir, can you show me, then I can able to clear about myself. jQuery is the self-invoking function. You want me to clear? So see here. So jQuery JS CDN. Let us see the link. Okay, jQuery CDN link. Everything is practical. So whatever they able to practically prove, right? Those things I can able to. Uncompressed jQuery, uncompressed or minified. Let us see the minified. Where it is started. So minified means it is a tricky, uncompressed. See here, how they started. Team, everyone observe how they started jQuery. Braces, right? What is the function name here? Any function name? Any function name? Clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Now are you clear practically? So if you want to create a library, we can able to implement jQuery library also. So see here, jQuery library was started with any function name. No, it is a what type of function? Now tell me. So what type of function it is?
SAF.
Anonymous function. Sorry, anonymous function. Next, this anonymous function was enclosed with a brace. So this is nothing but self-invoking function. Most of the libraries, for example, in our company also, if you want to create a library, you must use the self-invoking. But in detail, all these functions will will show you in the practical in the upcoming sessions. So now today's session, I'm targeting to showcase about the syntaxes. Okay, clear? So you no need to dig about this jQuery library. So somewhere they will be invoked automatically. Okay. Everybody is clear about self-invoking function. So self-invoking function means if you want to show some prompt, you can able to use. For example, you want to develop a library, so we are using the self-invoking function. So these are called self-invoking functions. Any questions? Everybody is clear about the functions. Can we create a functional components?
Yes.
So now you are clear, right, Abhishek?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions, Ramesh, Dedipya, Ashwant, Chandan?
What are the differences of those are?
Pardon, Ramesh? What are the?
What are the differences? What are the differences? Those are functions.
I'm not getting questions. What are the
Differences.
differences?
All those functions.
So what are the differences between the functions? Now tell me what is the difference between parameterless and parameterized function? So function, normal function, what is the difference between all these function in the sense the definition itself, the difference. So parameterless means function without a parameter. So what is the difference between these two? This function will have the parameterized. What is the difference between these three? This will return the function, these two functions will not return the data. What is the difference between these four means? So each definition itself a difference. So this function is assigned to the variable. So these three functions having the function name. Okay. So what is the difference between anonymous and arrow functions? Anonymous in the ECMAScript 6th version are converted as arrow functions. Okay, that is the definition itself is the difference between these. Okay, when to use another means if you have the parameters you can able to use. If you want to return some data, you need to use this one. Okay, you want to create anonymous function, we'll use arrow functions and callback functions together we are using. We'll see real-time scenarios. So already told, right? So we should know the scenario. It's not about the theory. If you check in the Google or somewhere else, anybody will get the syntaxes and use. But what type of scenarios, how to use, how to utilize this one to get a exact scenarios will drive it. Okay, any questions? Can you close the session? Okay, so if anybody know for this UI technology, no need to worry. We'll go over the step by step one. Okay, so I no need to be hurry. If you have that practice it, any doubts in the day also, please let me know. Okay, today try to be complete this function. And okay, that is about our 3 days demonstration session. We'll see in detail and in practical in the next sessions. And let us know confirmation by today itself. Okay, we'll go further from the different link from Monday.
Okay, can you help me? I can't build a React project. Hello?
Yeah, Ramesh.
Can you help me? I can't build a React project in my laptop.
Yeah, sure. So what you are getting the error? So anytime in the day
Can
also,
you,
no need to ask in the session itself. Anytime
how
everybody
can I
having.
contact you?
Yes, yes, yes. Please contact us anytime in the day also. If anybody has any issues, any questions, simply call or raise it to us. Okay.
Yeah, how do I contact you? How can
You
I
don't have
contact you?
you don't have a number?
I don't have any number.
How who sent this link?
I get a link in like website. I send the
Hmm.
WhatsApp in the WhatsApp.
Yes, so that's WhatsApp number. That's my number only.
Okay.
Hmm. Okay, that's my number only. So see here, that's what, right? Whenever in the welcome screen also, here also anybody have anyone can able to see our number. Okay, so contact this. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, team. Thanks for the day. We'll meet on Monday. So everybody, please confirm. We'll go for any questions in the day. Also, let us raise it. Okay. So purely have a
Okay.
target of everybody coming here to change their some goal in the life, to change either as a full stack
Yeah.
developer or restarting the career, or else you want to start some project, whatever it is. So I will definitely fulfill. Okay. Okay, team. Thanks for the day. We'll meet on Monday.
Thank you, sir.